All right, so whoa.
Yes, hello everyone. I just want to come on and first of all, I want to thank you for checking me out. Irene, CBiz Media, CBiz TV Media, and you can check out our podcast listening anytime at cbiztvmedia.com. That's CBIZTVmedia.com. We talk faith, love, and trends. And this time I'm going to review a podcast. It's something a little bit different for me. But of course, I'm going to be expanding. We're going to be probably reviewing a lot of different things. So this just kind of popped out at me because I'm a fan of Joey Lawrence. Back in the day, Blossom, he was a teen heartthrob in the 90s. So I was a fan then. I'm still a fan of him and all his brothers. They've come together to do a podcast called Brotherly Love. And so I just want to give a quick review. So I love this set. I love the logo. And I went on YouTube and found out it actually was a show back in the day. They actually tried to do a pilot show. I don't think it worked out because I didn't know that existed. But the podcast is very entertaining. They talk about different topics in the entertainment world, different actors and connections that they've had with them. And one thing that I really love, one of the recent episodes that I checked out, was that they are kind of a family thing. It's kind of like a family business, the whole acting game for them. When Joey started on Blossom, he got his younger brother into it. His younger brother played him on Blossom as a younger version of him, and even his other brother, the youngest, played him on Blossom as well. So they all have the acting bug in their blood. They've all had their own separate projects that they've done as well. And I've seen all their work, or a lot of their work, and I've enjoyed their work. And I just love the family business vibe. I love that it's not just business, it's brothers, and it's just like brothers hanging out, goofing off, saying some things, some may be inappropriate things, but they try to clean it up and fix it up. They have come from the sitcom world, so they do know how to clean some things up. Sitcom usually they try to be family friendly and they try to, be politically correct, which I don't even know if that's a word people use anymore on that level, but they come from that kind of clean-cut environment. They're not so straight-laced, they're not so straight-edged, and you see, they're just regular guys. They're brothers, they're men, they're fathers, and they just kind of just put it out there on the reel and kind of talk about their experiences in the acting world. They have a lot of nostalgia, which I love. I love how they reference some of our favorite shows back in the 90s, as well as referencing some of their own acting jobs and things that they've done. And nostalgia is ridiculous. So as I opened this special, one of Joey's phrases was "whoa." So that was just like iconic phrases. And they also talked about how that "whoa" was used in other sitcoms with other major stars, and just kind of how the catchphrase originated, and how somehow and sometimes it's recycled. So the "whoa" that Joey did on Blossom was recycled into other shows as well. Not to say they were trying to say, not to say that they stole the ideas, but they just kind of recycled them, reworked them, revamped them, and made it fit into other shows and programs. But I think a lot of times we borrow from each other anyway. And that's even with music. We borrow from each other and we're influenced by each other. I don't think it's always intentional, like, hey, I'm going to take that. But if you're listening to this music and you're a musician or a producer, and you've been listening to this one artist constantly, they just have a vibe you like, a little bit of that I think is going to rub off into your work. So I think our artists, entertainment, we all kind of connect with each other and vibe off of each other and influence each other in different ways and at different levels. So that's really is a true thing. But I just wanted to briefly come on, say I love this show. I love when they bring like other people in the entertainment world, other actors, and they reference some of the great pop culture fun things that I remember growing up back in the 90s. So it's a fun show. I definitely, if you're 80s, 90s kid, it's something that you probably will enjoy and you will get a kick out of. So I invite you guys to check that out if it's something you're into. I like the whole family vibe because it reminds me, I don't know why they remind me of Hanson, but they were a band back in the 90s, all brothers. I don't know what it is about family, but I'm kind of in a family business myself, working at my family radio station with my mom. And I've always worked with my siblings as well when we were growing up. And we did a lot of public access and community programs. We worked with cameras and the things that we worked with back then. You know, they've changed now. A lot of things are digitized, but I know what it is to work in a family environment and just to have that connection with your family. And I just love their connection that they have with each other. But they're all professional. They all know what they're doing. And they've learned a lot in the business. And they kind of give us an insider, a backstage look into the business and the acting world and the sitcom world and entertainment in different ways. And you'll just see on different episodes some of the things that they offer. But yeah, I love the brotherly love because I have brother and sisterly love. Shout out to my brother Mike and my sister Sylvia. We work together in many different capacities and we have that family bond. I celebrate that. I appreciate that. I think it's something special. I think it's something that we should try to cherish and we should try to work with and rebuild in some ways and reconnect in other ways. All right, guys, so that's my quick review of Brotherly Love. Hope you enjoyed it and hope you enjoy the podcast. If you want to stop in and check it out and have a little 90s nostalgia, like that's my main thing that encapsulates this show and wraps this podcast show up for me. Is, you know, I remember these guys growing up. Now they're around my age, maybe a little older, and just to hear the stories and like, oh yeah, I remember that. And it's just like listening and talking with your old friends, even though I'm not talking to them, but just the way they banter with each other in conversation. It's like I'm just hanging out with some old friends and we grew up together. We have that nostalgia. So if you're in that 80s, 90s group, age range, I don't know, maybe that's millennial. I think that is. Then generation, is it Gen X or millennial? This might be something that you will want to check out. All right, guys, thanks for listening. If you have any ideas of anything else that I could review, anything that pops up to you that you think is worth checking out, you guys can always connect with me if you agree or disagree with me on some of these reviews as well. Email me at cbiztv@yahoo.com. That's CBiz TV@yahoo.com. Thanks, guys, for listening as always, and God bless.